All right, welcome to another episode of Infinite Hunt Outdoor. This is our podcast here, and it's good to have Johnny Lunsford with us, one of our Ohio team members up in the northern Ohio area where it gets cold in the wintertime. And so it's good to have you here. He's got that big bass sitting behind him. He is a fisherman by heart, and that is for sure. How you doing, Johnny?
I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. I get to talk a little bit about something I have no idea about, deer hunting, and talk with you and learn a little bit and hopefully entertain some folks. So I'm doing real
Yeah.
good, man.
Yeah, that's the best part about this. The best part is we're always learning something, and so it's always exciting. Before we get started, I'm going to kind of talk to you about a couple of things. I want to know where you're hunting at this year, what state you're originally from, I should say, not where you're hunting at. Some people are hunting everywhere, but what state you hunt out of, and drop that in the comments there, and kind of let us know where you're hunting at in the comments, and then also we want to hear what is your best deer story. And I want you to drop that in the comments. We're going to do something here. I'll let you know in a second. Johnny is about to explain his first deer kill, which happened here a couple weeks ago in Kentucky, and we're going to do that. And so, in doing that and having that theme of a podcast today, we want to know what is one story that you have, your favorite story of a deer hunt. Drop it in the comments. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to look through all the comments, and whatever one stands out the most, we're going to reach out to you and get you on the podcast, the Infinite Hunt Outdoor podcast. And we want to hear your story. And so make sure you go right to the comments, drop the story, just kind of a brief explanation of it. We'll read through all those and just kind of draw one that we think is very interesting and get you on here to do that. And possibly, not a definite, but possibly throw in maybe an Infinite Hunt Outdoor hat or something like that. I got a couple hats sitting here right now. Check those out,
Okay.
and maybe throw you one of those there, and just have a great time. And so, great time just talking about hunting. So, drop it in the comment there, and we'd love to hear your stories. But tonight we are going to get into talking to Johnny about his first deer. And so, man, it's been a exciting year. 2 days into deer season for you, and made it happen. And so, tell us kind of where you went there, and where you're out of up there in Ohio, and kind of the drive and all that getting down there. Kind of bring us up to date on that.
Yeah. So, like you said, originally a bass fisherman by trade. Hunted a little bit in high school. I'm from, Southern Ohio and out in the sticks. So I hunted a little bit, but not real hard. Just more chasing girls and playing basketball, sleeping in on Saturdays on basketball season instead of hunting deer. You know how that is.
Yeah.
You're a teenager and you require like 43 hours of sleep a day. But so I didn't take the hunting thing real serious. Joined the Navy for 11 years. Didn't deer hunt then, but I did continue to bass fish for most of it. I bass fish from a kayak. That's my thing. I came back to Ohio, retired with my family here, and I live in northeast Ohio now. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get back into hunting. I went back to Southern Ohio for Thanksgiving, and my parents have like a little makeshift deer blind. They just hunt on their own small parcel of land for food, and my mom's like, take my crossbow and sit out, and I did, and I just went and sat overlooking the soybeans or the cornfield or whatever it was that year is already harvested. Brought back so many memories, and I was hooked, man. I was hooked.
Yeah, it does.
I went, I went and bought a bow, and this was like November of 2021. I bought a bow, and I said practice for a year, so by 2022 season, you'll be good enough to hunt. Because I didn't want to crossbow hunt. Nothing against the guy. I just didn't want to do it. Practice. Started deer hunted all through 2022. I did stick a buck, but he didn't die. That's going to lead to another lesson learned on arrows and arrow systems and broadheads that
Yeah.
I did not fail twice on. That we'll do in another episode that I'm really excited. Ryan, I've even found out more about anatomy and stuff since I do something, I'll go whole hog. So I found
Right.
out even
Yeah.
more. Just like when you asked me to join, Infinite, I said, I'm all in. If I go in, you be careful
Yeah.
what you wish for.
Absolutely.
But no. So, I had an uncle in Kentucky. I have a family in Kentucky. I know Kentucky well. I have my wife's from Kentucky, and I used to live there. And he bought a parcel of land, 60 some acres. Not huge, but I mean, that's more land than I've ever owned. I'd sure like to own 60 acres. Me and you'd have a lot of fun, Ryan.
Oh yeah,
No hunting. Nobody's even allowed to look at it but us. Right?
absolutely. So it's somewhere in the
Uh,
United States. That's all we have to say.
right. Uh, we'd be like the guys on TV with our food plots and our box blinds. Just there's our target, but
Watching football.
yeah, right. But anyways, so he said, and I was like, can I deer hunt? My favorite uncle, and he's like, of course you can. So, anyways, Kentucky season opened so early, and I still hadn't killed a deer yet to this point. So I'm like, hey, I mean, if you have the resources and you can, it's Labor Day weekend. I took an extra day off work for a 4-day weekend. I made the 5.5 hour drive down there, and stayed with him. Friday, I start scouting, and my uncle's like, look, somebody has a deer stand. They've hunted this land before. Nobody this year for a while, but I'll show you where it is. And I was like, that's fine. I explained to him I had a tree saddle and how mobile it could be. I was like, but if it's in a
No
good
one
spot,
understands that. When you say I hunt out of a tree saddle, they go, "A what?" And it's like,
Yeah,
okay, now I got to go through this whole thing of
yeah.
explaining it.
I basically look, almost any trail one I can just get in, but so he shows it to me, and I tell him, look, that looks cool. Honestly, it was pretty open for a buck to walk in, I thought, but I thought, well, if it's not a pressured property, maybe. But we shut the cow gate. And, anybody knows, man, cows were ruling the roost in there. There weren't any there when I walked in, but they had cow trails, hoof prints everywhere.
Yeah.
So I thought this might not be good. So I scout and scout. I find super limited deer tracks, even on the pond out in the middle of nowhere. It was hot. You know how hot Labor Day weekend was in Kentucky, 88, 90 degrees.
Yeah.
No deer tracks. I'm like, the cows have just had them out of here, but I got the gate shut now. So maybe,
Yeah.
So I walked the property, talked to you, talked to Michael about stuff I was seeing, found some white oaks, found some not white oaks. Still very little deer sign. Found an old rub from a really nice buck, but just didn't have much. So then I scouted outside.
Were the acorns dropping already, or
Yeah, but they were pretty green. They're pretty
were they?
green. Yeah. And certainly no deer sign on top of the acorns, or I'd have just set up there.
Yeah,
Right. Very little bedding. I found maybe some fawn beds, maybe. You know how me and you're kind of taking a look and you're like, this
Yeah.
might be, so I started looking anyways, outside of the cow fenced area into just some like marshy area, where I didn't bring a chair. I wasn't prepared to do a ground sit, but I did anyway because I thought, well, I know where they're not. And this looks like it could be bedding, and there's been deer seen here before, so I gave it a shot. Nothing. That was Saturday morning, first hunt, nothing. Saturday evening, I went and I actually put out a little bit of corn in the back because it was legal there, and I hunted for just a little bit. It was so hot, and I did the whole scent control series thing. I had all my gear on. It was too hot, man. I have a foot condition. The reason I retired from the Navy early, where my feet overheat really bad. You're in rubber boots and that heat, like it was a problem. I had to get down early. But okay, so Saturday's a bust. I didn't sleep real good Saturday night. I decided not to sleep Sunday morning. I was driving to go to church with a family. And I don't want to fall asleep at church. You know the importance of that, and certainly not while you're a guest too, right? Like,
Yeah,
you just look.
you're like, was it your uncle or somebody's the pastor? You can't.
Yeah. So my uncle's son-in-law, or my cousin's husband, is the preacher. Fantastic guys, anyway. But yeah, so we go to service, come back, and they come. Everybody comes over for a family dinner. Right. And they do this once a month, so I get to spend great time with family I don't get to see a lot. I decide, I asked one of the boys, I said, hey, you want to go back, one of my cousin's kids, you want to go check this deer corn, I doubt anything's touched it. Remember, it's going to take them a few days to come back where those
Right.
cows were. And I go back and I put a gallon of corn out. It was gone,
Hmm.
gone, and it had a doe tracks and at least one or two fawn tracks in it. And I thought, whoa, okay. So I walk back to the house. I mean, this is, not short walks over the Kentucky hills, but not super long either. And I'm like, look, and I'm covered in bugs. I'm like, look, there's no wind. It's dead calm. If I have wind, I might be okay. I'm not doing the scent control. I'm putting my sandals on. My feet are overheating. I smell like bug spray. I'm just going to go sit. There's a ravine behind where the deer stand was. Now I'm still in that ladder stand, 17, 18-foot ladder stand that was positioned well. I will say it was the most hidden. I don't know about you. When I hunt in a ladder
Hmm.
stand, sometimes I feel like I'm not
I feel
hidden
like
at
I'm
all.
sitting out in the open.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm not going to kill anything. Matter of fact, I had a buck come in on me once last year, and I was sitting in a ladder stand. I was afraid to move. I may have been able to get up and draw, but I was just like, there's no way.
I
Like,
had the
I can
same
see
thing
the top
happen to
of.
me like 2 years ago. I was
I
like,
probably should have tried to draw, but I was like, I see the top of his eyeball. He probably sees me. But
he's looking right in my direction. How could he
yeah,
not?
I was just waiting for his head to turn, right? And he never did. But anyways, it's got a little tree in front of it. It was situated well. And I knew where the deer tracks came from in the corn, right? I got a ravine at my back in the edge of the property and cow fields, cat a corner way back behind me. And I'm thinking if deer come in, they're going to come from those cow fields. That's the way the tracks came from. And it's dead calm, no wind. The thermals will suck this right down in the ravine. Nothing's coming from there anyway. Anything that was there would have seen me come in. So, like, I can smell bad, like bug spray sitting here.
Hmm.
I did douse myself in the Oz spray bottle, which is fantastic technology that actually works, by the way, because it felt really good. It's 90 degrees out.
So it was more
But
like
it,
a super fan.
yeah, but it was like dual purpose, right? So, anyways, I'm not, I'm only sitting out like an hour before daylight ends. And I hunt hard, man. I listen to a lot of the veteran hunters. I don't know what I'm doing, but I hunt as close to what I'm taught is right as possible, right?
Right.
I've logged a lot of miles, done a lot of scouting. For a rookie, I've gotten pretty close to bucks from learning all this. Not like I think that's pretty good. So I hunt hard. But this is not a hard hunt tonight, right? I'm walking out there. My daughter even FaceTimes me from the stand. I didn't tell you guys this. My daughter is, you know what it was when you're an experienced dad now, just like you're more experienced deer hunting me, you're more experienced dad. This is my only kid.
Yeah.
And she's 2 years old, and I don't like being away from her. When you're
Yeah.
first and you're just enamored with
Absolutely.
her, little girl. And she's calling, FaceTimes me with her mom, and I'm away all weekend. So, of course, I answered, hey, baby, hey, hi, I love you. Probably bug spray, sandals. I was wearing camo, but come on, ladder stand, cows in the area. But you gotta try, right? I mean, what am I gonna lose? Had to go on a hunt Monday morning the next day.
You
That was
can't
my
shoot
last
him.
day off, Labor Day.
You can't shoot him sitting on the couch. So
That's right.
you'll
So I
either
was
be out
like,
in the woods on FaceTime, bug
yeah,
spray, spraying everything, cows walking
yeah.
around throughout the
But
corn.
yeah, thankfully, hey. So now it's been a couple days since the cows have been locked out, right? So, you know, well, so I get off the phone and it's starting, the dark that it's getting to that magic hour. Not quite dark enough to where you need the true glow pins when the bucks come out, but
Hmm.
a little bit before that. And here comes a lone doe from the opposite direction of where, in the opposite trail of where the other deer came from the corn. She was on a little bit closer trail. I had the corn at 17 yards. She was at a 9 or 10-yard trail. Use a cow trails
Right.
alone. It's kind of open. You'll see, and you guys, we're gonna cut in some awesome videos here. I didn't get the
Yeah.
shot on, but
Absolutely.
immediate reaction of my first deer. But I'll tell the story, then Ryan can comment. And we can cut to that. But she walks in and she's like slow walking, not with fawns, but like still like what the.
Uh huh.
She looked at the base of the tree where I had the deer bucket, and then like she looks at the corn like, huh.
Like, Oh,
but
Lord.
she doesn't go for it. Yeah, she's like, that's too easy. And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh, she's gonna see my heart beating
You know
through
why
my
she didn't
shirt.
go for it? Is because she was like, I'm still full from eating that last time.
Yeah, maybe she went down and circled and bedded and came back. Yeah, but my heart's like beating. I'm like, she gonna see it through my shirt. And I'm like, crap. And she's just easing and she turns and looks at the corn, but she won't go for it. And I'm like, I keep thinking I need to stand and draw. I need to stand and draw. Thankfully, I was smart enough. I've done this before. I put the ladder safety thing behind me because I can get in the way of a compound bow.
Yes, again.
It was already back. So another lesson I learned from the ladder stand encounter. All right. So she like the third time she turns and stares at the corn, and I was like, I can't pass this up. I stand and draw, and don't even have to bleat. She's stopped. She's 9-10 yards. I trying to shoot forward on purpose. I could have shot more forward, but I shot right on the crease, not behind the crease.
Mhm.
You know, I'm shooting a very hard fixed broadhead, 530 grains, so I don't care to shoot forward. And arrow, it felt so good, man, to finally punch it. And it was so fast, you know, the arrow goes straight through her, and I just knew, like, no lighted knock sticking out of her. It was and then it was like, it was so finally. And then when I see that, I go from never killing a deer to the millisecond it takes to there is no way she can survive that. Like, I
Mhm.
know
Oh,
beyond a shadow of a doubt.
there's something
Uh,
about like watching that arrow hit that deer and the deer take off and the lighted knock is still setting where you hit at. There's
oh
no
yeah.
better feeling to see that because you know, complete pass through. I knew
Uh-huh.
that right in the right spot, dead deer, like it's done.
And I didn't see the lighted knock stick in there because it took a minute. It actually was laying in the dirt and it flickered
Mhm.
on later, but it disappeared so quick that I knew nothing. It wasn't slowing down.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
I just knew it was a clean. And she ran off, and I could steer. She ran down towards the cow gate about 50 yards away, turned, ran about 20 yards uphill, and when I tell you she crashed, she didn't crash like on TV. You know,
Right.
it sounded like she fell out of a helicopter. It was just
Done.
thunk and not another movement. And in the next video, I'd like to talk about why I think that was. There was no blood until then she fell and she's bleeding out of the bubbles out.
Yeah.
And it was, you saw the carnage. I mean, you're going to cut to it here, so I'll let you get a word in, and then we can talk about the aftermath.
Yeah, so here we're gonna go ahead and clip the clip in of his first reaction after shooting there. Again, first deer. So here's the first reaction. Here it is.
Doe down, baby. Doe down. Yes. Yes. She didn't go nowhere. Tracking. Right on the other side of that log. Done. Wedgehead, baby. Heavy arrow. Wedgehead. Vital V. Blew through her. She's done. I heard her run around, crash. She probably 70 yards. She probably went 60 yards. Done. Just got down the Wedgehead. I mean, this thing is soaked. I mean, soaked. Infinite Hunt Outdoors, Team Ohio, Wedgehead. Look at that wedge.
I want to show them this real quick. We'll talk more about detailed about it, but I have right here one of the Wedgehead broadheads that he used to kill the deer, and it did a number on that doe.
You think the Wedgehead does it to him or what? I mean, You think it works or not? EL&B outdoors. Oh, thank God, man. First deer, I couldn't be more tickled.
Hold it up with the point. No, the other way. Like twist it towards the camera. They can see that wedge. Look at that micro wedge. Because you're like, what's the difference in that and a Magnus Stinger or any double bevel? First of all, those blades are an eighth thick. The blades, the base.
Correct.
Then the micro wedge.
That right there is 1/8
And-
of an inch thick.
And then the micro wedge is probably close to half
Quarter.
inch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Quarter to
And
3
it
inches.
is. And it just blows through. And it's extremely hard. If you hit bone, it doesn't matter. And it didn't hit bone. Well, it broke through ribs. But lung tissue, you saw the holes
Yeah.
in the autopsy, Ryan. That's one of my
Into
favorite
did.
parts.
the top of the right lung, full pass through that lobe, and then
Yep, right there.
into the
You got both of them,
Straight.
double lung.
straight through the other lung,
Perfect.
and then I don't think the heart.
It's underneath there.
Ooh, nope, nothing on the heart. Just barely missed the heart, I think. But
Dude, that's a
straight through.
perfect shot.
I mean, she died within 70 yards, no blood trail needed.
You couldn't ask for anything.
But anyways, I finally get it down. I feel like, I'm so happy. I'm hollering at you guys on the phone. I'm texting everybody over a doe. Like, I feel kind of silly as excited as I was, but like, I mean, guy, it was, you understand the hunters now talk about it's all so much easier nowadays. So kids don't appreciate the struggle. I did struggle. Like I did hunt hard. I hunted almost every weekend last year. I put a lot in to even get this, and I felt like the hog in Texas, man, walking around like.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We'll pop that picture in here too. There you go, hog in Texas.
And let me tell you this, Ryan. First deer ever, I cleaned it the most Kentucky way possible. My uncle drives the back of the property, and my cousin's kids with, an ATV. We throw it in the bed, drive it away, take it down to his field. My cousin's husband, the preacher, just talks me through how to gut it. I'm not shy, man. I'm in there, just pull the guts out. We hang it. My uncle lifts his tractor bucket. We hang it by the tractor and skin it and quarter it out in the field. Had it all processed in an hour. If you're gonna kill a deer in Kentucky, that's the most Kentucky way to do it. Celebrated with the Kentucky L8 best ginger ale in the world. And I just want to say thank you to my aunt and uncle and cousins. Salt of the absolute earth, man. I was afraid they'd feel like I was using them, just to come hunt, which I was. No, I'm just kidding. No, I love those people, man. I love them. It made this. I would drive 6 hours to go see them again. Like they're great people. Yeah, I'm sure you will. You love them too, huh? You love them too. Uncle Rocky, Aunt Sharon, can Ryan come next time? But nah, man, it was great. It was great. Yeah. I just loved it.
Man, we're excited for you. First deer. Casey, our Kansas team, got his first deer last year, and while he was walking out of the woods after the hunt, he shot a deer, and so was able to get it done last minute, and so that was his first deer, and so exciting stuff. There's nothing like the first, and there's nothing like a deer that you get after you've worked for it a lot, and it really is a satisfying thing. When you get that first deer and you've been working at it and working at it and working at it.
If this would have been my first hunt, like I didn't hunt that deer hard, but I hunted hard last year. So
you were fighting yourself more than you were hunting the deer.
Yeah, well, and it was like that made it special. Like, could you imagine if that hunt I described was my first ever deer hunt? I'd be like, that's not much, But this way is way better. I mean, I think so. You could probably.
You had a rough season last year. You went out and ended up getting a deer, but not recovering it.
Yeah.
And so that's I had that happen to me last year. First year bow hunting last year, and third hunt in, I missed the first two hunts. I missed the deer, And the third hunt, I hit the deer and never recovered her. And she about 6 hours of tracking, finally backed out, went out again the next day, never recovered her. And I
Yep.
know she's dead because like a week later I was out and found remains and stuff of the doe. So I know she
Well,
died, but yeah.
yeah. And it's unfortunate. I
Yeah.
mean, that's why I shoot the arrows I do, the system I do, the work I've done. I wasn't having that happen again. I mean, it's going to happen like everybody.
Oh yeah,
I
everybody.
was going to do I was going to change things, everything in my power, cuz I didn't last year I hit the buck where I wanted to hit him. It just didn't have the right arrow system, and a lot more. Just a lot, I'm just having much fun now, and I'm looking forward to hunting. Now I get to come back to Ohio, and that second tag in Kentucky is much cheaper than that first, so I might explore that again.
There you go.
Definitely, yeah, and I definitely, I hope me and
Don't
you
even
get
go
to.
anywhere else. Just go sit in that same stand. That's all I got to tell you.
If it's going to be that
Ozone
easy,
spray. You know, face
well,
time.
it'd be cool. It'd be cool is if I get a buck in Ohio pre-rut, and I just take my rutcation to Kentucky. Now, could that land didn't have a ton of buck sign, but if the cows stay out and there's does in there, and bucks are going to come cruising through does, or I might get back in there and find a buck bed. Who knows?
Well, I tell you what, if you go to Kentucky for rutcation or whatever you want to call it, I'll come down and just film you there because I can make that. I could leave on a late Sunday night and kind
Just
of
film me.
film you. Yeah. Why'd you have your bow?
Yeah, it's that like that game warden. It's just like that clip going around.
I got it right here.
Yeah,
There it is.
who me? Just hanging around.
No, but for real, man, I'll come down and film you. I can make that happen with my days off and stuff. Just shoot down there on a Sunday night and get in late, but get up, go film all day, and head back Monday night. I can make it happen.
Well, I'd love to have if family's cool with it, which I think they would.
Oh,
like,
absolutely,
listen,
yeah.
my aunt and
I'll
uncle
stick the
again.
car on the side of the road. We're fine with that.
Oh, Kentuckians won't let you do that. They'll give you a blanket at least in the car. No, my aunt. I'm telling you, these guys. I always loved them, but putting me on my first deer like that, it's even deeper now. That's the thing about the outdoors, right? It's more than just like everything with it, the relationships, the memories. Like you said, you can't kill them from the couch. You don't build these memories from the couch unless the Buckeyes are playing. But besides that, then you can't build from the couch.
Yeah. We see behind you. So, well, that's the story for today, and man, exciting times. Can't we see what the rest season holds? You are the first one to get a deer down for Infinite Hunt. And so got started early. Michael's planning to go out this next week and hopefully get on some, and then season's kicking off soon here in Ohio.
Yeah, it was good. Good luck, good blessing, good fortune. One day before I killed the deer, I had the official invitation to join this elite team of Infinite Hunt, like from you wonderful
he
people.
shows everybody up the next day. So,
yeah. And I'm like, I Tom Brady'd you the best decision this organization's ever made.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for a 100-pound doe, easy, buddy, easy, buddy. Got 6-year-olds with a crossbow doing what you did. Chill out, buddy.
He got a doe, threw it on his shoulder, walked out, one-handed it.
Yeah, that doe's got spots on it. No, it's an axis deer.
Oh, goodness.
Oh man, but hey, I do look forward to the next series. If you guys ever wonder about what to shoot and how to shoot and why, I'm not an expert, but I failed and I did something different and was much more successful. And we'll talk about the arrow system, the anatomy, and shooting, and
yeah, absolutely.
And so we don't go tracking does 60.
We're gonna talk more
hours.
about these guys right here.
Yeah, isn't that cool, dude?
Dude,
You want to get people check out Lusk Archery's channel, you guys that are watching, and look up the Wedgehead. He does a full review, and we're gonna do some cool stuff, God willing, this summer with him too.
We are gonna do we're gonna do some neat stuff, and with them and excited about that. And so a lot of stuff coming your way. If you haven't, go over to our if you're watching our YouTube channel here, make sure that you subscribe, hit that subscribe button, and like our channel there. And then also we're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Go Wild. If you have not been over there, go check that out. And so just follow us on it. A lot of things coming up. Seasons are just kicking off, and we've been hot and heavy in it all off season through bow fishing, dove hunting. Now we're getting into deer season, duck. Texas team's been hog hunting all summer long, and so a lot of just huge variety of content coming your way. And so make sure that you follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel there.
All right, that's great jacket you have on too. There, just
Oh
want to
yeah,
compliment you.
Osseo. Yeah, this
Yeah.
Osseo right here is excellent. So hey, if you want to check this out, you can go over and get you some Infinite Hunt Outdoor arrows. Wrapped right there. Look at that. That looks sharp, doesn't it?
That might have dropped my doe at 50 yards.
Oh, probably just because it has the IHO on it.
Yeah,
That's
that would have ripped through her lungs
IHO,
even.
done.
Yeah, it's like poison dart.
IHO is pretty close to Ohio. That's all I got to say.
I like it.
Hey, there
I
you
like
go.
it.
So check it out. All right. Thanks you guys for watching.